Welcome to Zone In Sports, your favorite spot for real talk, bold takes, and everything in the zone when it comes to sports. From hard-hitting analysis of the Miami Hurricanes football to the hottest stories across the sports world, we're bringing you that energy, passion, and a little bit of swagger, just like the U. So whether you're tailgating in the Coral Gables or arguing in the group chats or just vibing in your way to work, buckle up. You're in the zone with your host, D. Hamp.
All righty out there, y'all still coming in this building there, go on and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We got Bigger and E in the backstage, and we finna get it cracking right now. We're gonna break down the Texas A&M game, and also we're gonna talk about the Ohio State Buckeyes that's up next for the U. Come on in, E, let's get it cracking, baby.
So much for the 12th man. That wasn't a fact at all, was it? We have any false starts on the offensive line? I don't recall one, do we?
No.
I don't recall a penalty for any false starts, do we?
No.
No pre-snap penalties, huh?
So
much for that 12th man. All that hype. So much about their defensive end with 11 sacks. Did you hear his name called during the game?
Right. No.
You didn't hear his name, right?
I didn't.
I don't. So how come they ain't hype up Miami offensive line then? That was supposed to be the battle. Him and Maui Noga going at it.
Right.
Come on, man. Listen, the game was not boring. You had missed field goals, a blocked field goal, a failed fake punt attempt by them. It was full of all kind of ups and downs. And that jet sweep early in the first half that they ran where they got Malachi and tackled him all up and dude kind of slammed him a little bit, made it a little personal.
Right.
That was a setup for later on in the game. People was complaining about Dawson and complaining about his play calling, and the wind flipped that game. I'm not going to have my quarterback out there where he could possibly make a mistake.
Right.
A&M got a good defense. You got to give it to them. Their defensive front, they ran certain schemes to blitz, to overloads one end of the line, and they would get to the quarterback fairly quickly with that type of package.
Right.
And they ran it, and they got the back because Maui Noga could only get the DE in. But anyway, I'm not going to put my quarterback in a position to make mistakes. He's 14 for 20 for a little over 100 yards.
Right.
It ain't the greatest, but guess what? 0 interceptions.
And that's what it's about.
That's what it was about. They said, who was the quarterback that's going to play the cleanest game? Well, their guy got strip sacked and threw 2 picks in the second half. There's the game. And we ran the rock.
Right.
Should we have ran it a little more? That's up for debate. We all would have liked to have seen more, but I think, again, Dawson is being smart. We're in different waters now, people. We're not swimming in the 5-foot side of the pool anymore.
Right.
We're in deep water now. We're in the diving section now with the other big-time schools. And now it's like, okay, we got to play chess, but not only with the team we're playing right now, but you don't think Dawson was thinking ahead when he knew this game was in the bag? He knew that they were scouting this game.
Right.
We win this game, Ohio State going to play Miami for that run because they got a real stout defense too.
Right.
I'm going to protect Carson Beck by not putting him in a position to be out here slanging the rock everywhere in the wind and throwing a pick. And then the momentum of the game changed. And then, they might score on that pick.
Right.
It might fuck with the psyche of him and the rest of the team if I put him in a position where he might. No, this game warranted what you got. And it showed our defense. And now they thinking over there at Ohio State. They thinking. I listen to some of the pundits talking. They thinking now, like, wait a minute, Indiana gave them a hard time in the Big Ten title game with their D-line, and their D-line ain't nowhere near as good.
I was arguing with a guy. I said, Miami got way more team speed than Indiana.
Way more.
And a lot of people, no, they don't. I said, they got way more team speed than Indiana.
They play way more violent than Indiana do.
Yeah. Yeah. I said, y'all getting lost to the sauce when it comes to that.
Dude. I said it already. You know what I said.
I said, now,
Ohio
Let's go back to
State, Georgia, Oregon.
the Texas A&M game for a second before we hop into the Ohio State. I thought you hit on something perfect when we started talking about Dawson, because this was my take. In the first half, where a lot of people don't understand, it takes a while for an OC to figure out what's kind of going on. There's a lot of stuff going on. Today was hard on him. He did. In the first half, he was trying to figure out how could I attack this thing, because that double blitz gap and that gap was throwing him for a loop in the first half, and it took him a while. That's why you see after the half,
especially after Carson got popped and fumbled. Remember, Carson got hit on the play and he fumbled, and luckily Fletcher fell on him.
Right,
and after that play, you kind of saw a little bit of the conservatism set in a little bit as far as protecting back. Okay, no more of this shit.
Right,
they known for this. If that's something they known for, you know they're gonna bring it.
Right.
You know they're gonna bring it. So this team is not. Miami wasn't playing Virginia Tech. Miami wasn't playing NC State now. This is the playoff. Now we playing Texas A&M, big time SEC football.
Oh, hold up. Let people talk now. Now all of a sudden Texas A&M ain't good after they was favored. A lot of people saying Miami couldn't and all this stuff. This is what happens when Miami play teams.
You can't pay attention to them. These the people that said that A&M was going to win. They're going to smoke y'all, this, that, and the other. And look at they come out there. 3 points.
Right. Hey, Big Kid, we ain't here. Hey, we already know. I told you, man, we ain't talking about Notre Dame no more, because we already know.
The only thing I'm going to say, Big Kev, in Notre Dame defense is I think Notre Dame should have been where Tulane is, and I think Texas should have been where James Madison is.
They should have.
I think that would have been a bigger game, Notre Dame at Ole Miss, and Texas at Oregon. It wouldn't have been such a cakewalk for Oregon or Ole Miss playing them. But they set this shit up just right. You got to remember something. This committee is in bed with the cable sports network, and that's why they put Alabama at 9 so they could get a weak Oklahoma team. Even though Oklahoma jumped out, they knew, okay, we in the playoffs now. This ain't the SEC title game. We gonna put our big boy pants on to see what Oklahoma, you a Big 12 team. Okay. Texas, you a Big 12 team. You only there because the cable sports network needs you there.
Right. And usually this is what happens in life. In retrospect to even Big Kev out there question. Everybody know out there Big Kev is a Notre Dame fan. Usually it takes stuff to be messed up in life for them to correct it. After seeing, now you see 2 years ago, teams get smoked in the first round. Wasn't nobody competitive in the first round last year. This year you had 2 teams that was competitive. And we had 2 teams that shouldn't have been in there. Now they're going to tweak that. I highly doubt you get a group of 5 in next year. Maybe if it is, it's just 1.
No, they need to have their own. Like even Gruden said that they need to have their own national championship.
Yeah.
Their own 12-game play.
I agree.
And it would be more exciting. It could work. They would get all the TV. They would get that.
Yep.
They would still get advertising. The networks would still make money with that right there.
And you still would have had a controversy even with that, because Vanderbilt and
the only reason why I said Texas is because Texas beat Vanderbilt.
Well, yeah.
You take James Madison and Tulane out, that leave you 2 spots. I say Notre Dame and Texas only because Texas beat Vanderbilt.
Well, yeah. He said, I'm not talking about the Irish. I'm talking about these poor guys over the I'm just giving you shit, Kim. I know you ain't talking about the Irish. Hey, it was hard to watch those 2 games. I'm just going to be honest.
You talking about the Tulane game with Ole Miss?
Yeah. And
last 2, because you knew what was going to happen, man. It's just like, man, I can't believe James Madison scored 34. They said, oh boy, had 2 picks for Oregon. He still threw 2 picks.
Oregon took their foot off the gas, and then they started playing backups in the
we'll
fourth
see
quarter.
Him. Don't worry, Dwayne. Don't worry.
Yeah,
we'll see him. We'll see them January 20th. We're gonna see them.
Right, right. So I wasn't even worried about that. He says, now
Now,
somebody
then they
put
had
in,
shot their load by then.
Donovan said BYU would get in before Texas, and Texas had 3 losses.
Why would you let BYU in when they lost twice bad to Texas Tech?
And that's just the debate that we're just talking about, because we could honestly
They
say,
ain't played nobody else
yeah,
on their schedule
BYU is
with other
not
Big
the
12 teams.
12 best teams, So again, we letting people in on.
When they played their very best team in their conference, they lost twice. So why do you think they're gonna go on the field with a Miami or A&M or Ole Miss or Oregon and win a game?
Hmm.
If they can't even beat Texas Tech, the best team in their conference, did they beat Utah?
Who is that?
BYU. Did they play or beat Utah in the Big 12? I'm not sure.
Wait a minute, hold on. Let me just look real quick.
So for me, the argument with SMU has no bearing.
Yeah, I don't see that either.
Not SMU, BYU rather.
Yeah, they beat Utah 24-21.
Okay, they beat them. I'm not going to say they barely beat them. Whatever, they beat them. They beat them. Okay.
Yeah,
they beat them. Texas Tech beat them.
And they both was ranked pretty high. Utah was 15. That's when Utah switched to that board, that quarterback, that freshman that was running up some stuff.
See, that's okay. That's good. That's a good win for BYU.
Yeah.
But like I said, when you played the best team in your conference twice
and get smoked twice,
and you got smoked twice, you ain't got much to stand on to say, well, we can go outside of our conference and whoop somebody. Can you? I don't think you can. You damn sure wouldn't whoop Miami. I don't think you would whoop Notre Dame.
No.
I don't think you would whoop A&M or Ole Miss or Oregon. So I don't know who you're going to whoop on. I don't think you could whoop Texas. I don't think you could whoop Vanderbilt either, BYU. So
BYU would have been way more competitive than I think James Madison.
Yeah, but you only got 2 spots. So who you gonna put? If you got 2 spots left, Notre Dame get one of them,
right?
And leave one. So you got BYU, Texas, and Vanderbilt. Out of them 3, who you think is the team that should go? Now each fan base going to scream up and down the reasons why it should be them,
right?
But on paper, who should go? Texas, Vandy, or BYU?
Yeah, that's crazy. Mackenzie Brooks from CBS Sports, what are you talking about? We don't know, because we actually sitting here on this live, so you got to let us know what Mackenzie talking about. It says Texas lost bad to Florida. They did.
But they beat Vanderbilt.
Yep.
So now what? And then you got BYU sitting there saying, well, we won. But you got punched in the mouth twice by Texas Tech.
Right.
Can Texas Tech play with Texas? I'm not saying they can't, but
I say Notre Dame should have been in. It's hard when you start to get into 3 losses. That's when you get a little shaky, and that's when the biases come in.
Right. That's what Texas got the 3rd loss.
Yeah. So I can't
that's what I'm saying. But who else is there? Houston fell off. Memphis fell off.
Yeah.
Navy fell off. Who else you got to say is the better team in the country that deserve? If you don't take James Madison and Tulane out, who else is there?
Notre Dame and Texas.
Who else? Are you gonna say, okay, well, Duke, just because you won the ACC, we're gonna bring you into the picture, but you got 5 losses.
Yeah.
Who else is there?
Yeah.
I can see the Vanderbilt people saying, well, wait a damn minute. We only got 2 losses, but you lost to Texas.
Kevin said he played 3 snaps against James Madison. The funny part, I was arguing with somebody. I was saying, hell, they couldn't tackle me, boys. Shoot, they could run me down or something, but they was tackling like crap.
They had no business in this thing.
It says Texas would have gave the worst quarterback in the playoffs.
I think Texas at Oregon would have been really big for Raiders.
Yeah.
I think Notre Dame at Ole Miss. Notre Dame could have really that was a game where they could have went out and they would have been playing an upper tier SEC team from the upper end of the conference. They're not playing fucking Arkansas again, where they beat the brakes off of them. They're playing one of the better SEC teams, and I think that would have been a better playoff game than them playing Tulane.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
And I think Texas would have been really sexy. Archie Manning going up there. You're taking your team. You're going up that way. You're playing out in the Great Northwest. You got your team going up to Oregon in this different environment. Okay, let's see what you're all about.
Yeah. Now, in watching the game.
But it didn't happen that way. Back to our game.
Yeah, in watching the game, what do you think? First of all, who was the key standouts in the game to you?
For me, the key standout for me was on the offensive end, it was Fletcher, C.J. Daniels for his blocking downfield when it counted. Okay, it was his block that sealed that sweep play for Malachi to score that touchdown. He crashed down and blocked that guy just long enough and hit him just enough to throw him off where Malachi could run that corner on that sweep to score.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, on the defensive side of the ball, I got to give it's Bain and Mesidor. Yeah. Mesidor was raising hell. He didn't get the same amount of sacks as Bain.
Right.
He was raising hell back there.
Yeah.
They did their job. I told you.
Yeah.
You forced this guy to throw the ball. He's going to make some passes. He's not a bad quarterback.
Right.
He made some completions. He got some plays off. But if you force this kid to throw it with the pressure that's coming, you beat up on him. It's like boxing. Dawson was boxing with these dudes, man. I'm going to body blow you for a long time. And when the fourth quarter come, I'm a break you. And that's where he broke that 50-some yard pass.
Right.
I've been body blowing you, but not too much. I've been letting Beck throw it a little bit, but not a lot to get me in a situation where he throws a pick. We were in a few of those third and longs. Remember they said Miami don't want to be in the third and long.
Right.
They're experts at that shit, and they are.
Yeah.
Miami was in about, 3 of them, maybe 4 third and longs.
Yeah.
And they couldn't convert them.
Right.
Because they told you this is what these dudes specialize in.
Yeah.
But, okay, Dawson played this smart. We'll punt. The defense is on one today.
Right.
So I'm going to let them eat.
Right.
And they went out there and did their thing.
And, oh, man, it was so
frustrating. When Malachi got stripped, now those who know football, he did not fumble. He was very violently stripped from the blind side.
Yeah,
that's a good play by the defensive player. Not only did they catch him in the spin move, he stripped his ass from the backside.
Yeah, with all his weight coming down, he pulled it.
That's defense. That's
a
all
good
defense.
Play.
That's something that's developed. You taught that to do that, to apply that. So that was. But for Miami to turn around and not give up any points, and for Bain to get another big time sack, so they got nothing off, 0 points off that turnover. People,
right?
Remember that 0 points off that turnover. They got the ball back, and then they went down there and did their thing. And Fletcher got off. Because at that point in the game, they beat up on them just enough with the run game. It were 5 other teams that A&M played this year. They had over $2 rushing on them per game. Per game, they gave up over $200 yards in each game 5 times before this game. So the run was there.
Right.
It was there.
And the funny
I said if Miami run the ball and Beck don't have any issues and no mistakes, and they run the ball and they're successful, and they play defense, they win this game. And that's exactly what they did. They forced him. They played some zone. They finally played a little zone, and they forced him to throw the ball. He made some passes.
Right.
He also
but you knew he would.
Yeah, he's going to make some completions. Yeah. He ain't no bum.
Right, yeah.
Dude is nice.
Yeah, people try to make him out like he is, but you ain't winning 10 games and you a bum. You know what I'm saying?
But see, the thing about it is the media is the media. It is what it is. We know what we're dealing with. From here on out, we're going to hear about how Ohio State going to beat the brakes out of us.
Okay? Yeah, somebody put in there that too. And before I put his comment up, that's what I was telling people yesterday.
Put him up.
They dismissing Miami going on the road, hostile environment.
All the same
dude to 3 points.
The same talking points. The 12th man.
Yeah.
Texas A&M's defense. They got great defense. They got great playmakers. Concepcion. You ain't heard shit out of Concepcion, did you?
Devner got his head.
A couple passes. Got his head. Once he got his wig split on that catch on that punt, you didn't hear much out of him.
Right. Hey,
I knew he didn't have no. Listen, Dwayne. I knew he didn't have no dog in him because when they drove down the field to potentially tie the game, remember?
Yeah.
Right before the game was over in regulation, He got a slant play, and his punk ass ran out of bounds at the 5. And even somebody else said, why didn't he try to go upfield with that and score? If they would have tackled him, it would have been on the 1 or 2 yard line. You'd have been that much closer, but he went out of bounds. That told me he ain't got no dog in him. I said, Malachi would have turned that shit up.
Hey, look, when you get your wig split like that,
he wasn't a factor.
No.
What's old boy name? The defensive end that they had that was supposed to be so good.
Talking all that stuff, yeah.
You didn't hear his name, did you?
They was on his head. Hey, he said
they didn't give enough
Ohio State to beat us by a lot. Yeah, I think we seen the.
That's cool. I let him talk.
11. I think it was like 11 and a half, something like that.
No, it started 10 and a half. Then I heard it dropped to 10. But they said once they go back and evaluate the film,
it'll be down to.
It's gonna be less. I say somewhere between 5 and 7.
I think it's gonna be 7. I think 7 and 8. That's what I think. But that's cool, you know. Once
now they tried to say yesterday, they tried to say both teams was rusty, and I could kind of go with that. You've been off for 3 weeks, both teams. So you may have been. That's another thing. You got to give Dawson some credit. I know it's been 3 weeks. We come off that hot big win at Pitt. We ain't done nothing in 3 weeks besides inside the practice facility, inside and maybe outside if the weather was right. And that's it. We ain't had no lie. It's not like week to week like we was doing during the season. You know, we got a game coming. We know we got a game. Now you got this game out the way, and you know you got a game coming.
Right.
Not in 7 days. It's in like 10 days. But you know, New Year's Eve, that Wednesday, it's on and popping.
Right.
So now you got something to build up for. You done got through this game. I think Becker's going to be more effective in the next game. I think Miami defense is going to play a part. The question is, who's going to shine this time around? This time it was Bain and Fitzgerald on the defense. Right. So, you know, Fitzgerald came in when Zachariah Poyser got that stinger and got hurt.
Right.
He ended up getting 2 picks.
Right.
Now, who's it going to be on the defense next time when they go out against Ohio State? Who's going to be the one to step up now on the defense? You know, same with the offense. The offense, it was, you know, it was Fletcher. Malachi had his moments. Who gonna step up? Is the O-line gonna be what they were? Because Ohio State D-line is the truth.
Oh yeah, it's the truth.
They the truth. They got some world beaters on that defensive line.
But this is the key. This is the thing. That offense and defensive line, Mario got them boys locked in. And I'm telling you, and my man back here, Heatherman, that I told you, I said he gonna have a defensive plan. He gonna have a defensive plan for Jeremiah.
He gonna have something for him.
That man is the real deal, man.
He gonna have a plan. Because he done played Ohio State before, as when he was at Rutgers and when he was at Minnesota. So he gonna put something together for Ohio State. And really, man, Indiana kind of gave you the recipe, even though I agree with somebody who said he think that Ohio State wasn't playing right against Indiana.
I heard that too. So they
didn't play like they normally would have played because Indiana got some shit off that, you know, normally it was like. Now listen, they not immortal. They can be beat.
All right, thank you.
They can be beat. Okay, they ain't played nobody that's really good yet to me.
Right.
Penn State was boo-boo.
Right. Next year, if conference champions have 5 losses, they still get it. I don't know. I have to go back. I thought the ACC was
no, because they said they had to tank. You had to be ranked.
Yeah.
And Duke was not ranked.
Right. He's talking about next year. Oh. But I don't think it'll be like that next year. I think they're doing something behind the scenes. I'm not totally sure. And then you got to remember, we got all summer long to go through the ACC meetings and stuff, and I don't think you're going to have that at all.
You talking about 5-way tie? They're going to change the rule?
Yeah.
They're going to have to change that rule, man.
Yeah. What's up, you go, Wire? We up here, man. Give Fitzgerald his props. Oh, yeah. Fitzgerald balled out.
Oh, dude, he's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ridiculous what he did. Ridiculous. He probably could have ran him some more, but why?
Right. Yeah. I mean,
this game, you have to take your feelings out of this and look at the matchups and the analytics. The matchups were the biggest thing with this game. The wind played a factor. So I'm
Yeah.
not going to put my quarterback in. They're already dogging him anyway, even though he had a great second half of the year. They keep hanging the Louisville loss on his head.
Right.
Okay, why they keep doing that?
Right.
They don't hang Penn State beating Oregon over Oregon's head now. They don't bring that shit up, do they?
Right.
Because every time Oregon come on, well, they did lose. He did. So-and-so did have 3 picks against Penn State, and they lost in overtime or however way that. No, Penn State lost that game to Oregon.
Yeah.
In overtime.
Right.
But Oregon got their ass whooped at home by Indiana.
By Indiana. Yeah, by Indiana.
They don't bring that up.
Indiana should have lost to Penn State. Shoot, on that last second touchdown.
I'm just saying, they don't bring that up, though. They don't bring up the fact that Indiana beat the brakes off Oregon at their house.
Right.
But they keep bringing up Louisville loss about Miami and Beck.
Right.
They keep bringing that up over and over. Well, you got to, every time they mention Beck, they always go back to that. Now that the last 4 games of the year, he threw 10 touchdowns with only 1 pick and over 1,000 yards passing. His QB rating was in the high 80s.
Mm-hmm.
No mistakes. In this game, the offensive coordinator was spot on. He recognized what type of game it was, the defenses they were running. I'm gonna let him throw it a little. He threw it some. In the fourth quarter, he got some passes off to the sidelines.
Right.
I thought they would keep doing that, but they went back to the run because the run worked.
Right.
Those passes set up the run because they softened them up some. Gave Fletcher that way Fletcher could break some because they was playing off at that point.
Right. And I heard some commentators talking about, oh, well, yeah, these passes he missed, say, and wouldn't miss. And I'm just like, every game has different flows. You can't compare what happened in this game and a guy underthrowing the ball in this game to this guy. He hit that.
I ain't mad at
Carson
Beck at all. Carson Beck played perfect. That man had no picks.
It says I said from the beginning, and people said that I didn't know football. This game was going to be a defensive battle the whole way, and Miami was going to win by 7 points or less.
There it is.
What's up, Anthony? How's it going out there, bro?
Come on, bro. That's what I said.
It says Bryce Fitzgerald's a freaking ridiculous freshman safety. Yeah, hey, like I say, that dude was out there balling, man. Now, you know what?
And they keep bringing up this window. Now, this is how the media is. This is how they sideways hurting the quarterback from A&M. They punching him for no reason, okay?
Right. That's the way I was thinking.
They keep saying, dude was open, and he had this window to throw the ball.
Man, that window was tight. It was super tight.
On both ends of the window was a white shirt.
Yeah. I went back and looked. I looked at it like
it was
5 times.
It was Besaint and the other old boy at linebacker. That was the window he had to throw it through to get it to him. Now, he did make his crash 8, which was a hard turn break back in. So, yeah, that put Fitzgerald behind him.
Right.
So, yes, if nobody else was in front, he was wide open for a touchdown in the end zone.
Right.
But they keep saying this window. Well, like I said, on this side of the window was Besaint, and on this side of the window was the other old boy at linebacker.
Right.
Okay, so the window was there, but if he'd have threw it, one of them white shirts would have picked it.
Hey, that's what I was looking at it, and
either way it go, him throwing that ball out of desperation to that guy, it was a pick because he threw it, and it was enough time for Fitzgerald who was underneath to recover, and he was behind him when he made that hard cut, but he had enough time to recover and make the great pick.
I think probably what he should have done, and what in retrospect he probably should have threw it only where his guy could have got it, or been incomplete, threw it out of bounds because it was second down.
He wasn't going to run for it. He wasn't running for it.
No.
They had already made up their mind that they was not going to risk him running.
Right.
He already been getting his ass whooped all game as it was.
Right.
They don't talk about that, dude.
It says, for all the Cane fans over 35, this win over ASU will be so well deserved. Yes, sir. We all know that. We always have this argument, well, not an argument, a debate on this show about the younger Cane fans versus the older Cane fans. And some of the younger Cane fans don't understand what we endured for 30-something years, you know.
It
And
ain't been 30-some years. It's only been 23.
well, I'll just say just because my age.
23.
But
02. I ain't forgot. It's hard for me to watch that game now.
yeah, but that it is what it is. So we just seen the highs and we just seen the lows. So we understand that, hey, just even getting the opportunity to play Ohio State is going to be big. Our market is going to be the highest rated game of the week. They solo got their own day. All the rest of them play the next day.
This game gonna be stupid, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be something. So
this game gonna be ridiculous. It's gonna be ridiculous. This game, I mean,
he said that window was wide open. And he overthrew it, and he threw it behind him.
I'm not gonna say it was wide open. If you go back and freeze the film, it was like it was there. But what quarterback can make that throw? You got to be a Josh Allen, Mahomes type dude to make that type of throw. These ain't NFL caliber quarterbacks. That window was there. He right. The window was there. It took you to be that dude to get that ball. Here's the window. Now behind the window, dude made his cut, which put Fitzgerald behind him. He made that break, that crash 8 back hard, coming back across.
And they was on him. Open. He had to get rid of the ball too. They was on him.
If he would have threw the ball 2 seconds sooner, he might have got it.
Right.
He was open. But by the time he decided to throw the ball, it was 2 white shirts on both sides of that window, I keep saying. Then they say, well, if he'd have threw it high and in the middle of the goalpost, motherfucker, this ain't no boy from the 49ers jumping in the earth. Oh, with Joe Montana throwing it, these college kids.
Right.
He wasn't gonna make that throw.
They think everybody is all that.
That's a Dan Marino, Josh Allen laser beam.
What's up, Taze? Up, nose down. Hey, how we feeling today, gentlemen? I was crying after the game yesterday. He said, "Oh man, I got you, Anthony. Give you a second. The wind had taken it. Yeah. I'm with you. It looked like it was open, but it's a lot of factors when you break down. They was bearing down on him. He felt the pressure to get rid of the ball.
Right.
The window was tight. It wasn't wide. Things looked wide open until you down on that field. If it was that wide open, it didn't make a difference if he threw it behind him. He would have slowed down and made the catch. He should have throttled it down anyway because of the backer that was there in that window. That was the thing.
When they said don't throw it hard.
No, he didn't say that. Or did somebody say that?
I thought you said if he would have threw it so hard.
Nah, I don't think nobody said that.
Okay. Just making sure.
I don't think so.
I'm looking at a different stat over here. I'm like, wait a minute. Say what?
He says,
he should have threw it so hard. I said, that would have been an easier interception.
Right.
I said, somebody else would have got that pick instead of Fitzgerald.
Right, yeah. This is this bullshit, they know it. I just want to admit that their line of scrimmage can't handle physical play on the other side of the ball. That's what he meant. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that doggone, I'll tell you, that doggone defensive line is straight crazy. Thanks for the super chat there, K's up, nose down. It says that pass rush fix it to get after saying ass. I'm just saying. Yeah. That pass rush, yeah. Hey, look.
Who pass rush?
He talking about our pass rush.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I think once, I haven't went back and dissected each of the linemen for Ohio State yet. So.
I'm not taking nothing away from the Buckeyes, but what I'm trying to say is this. They can be beat like anybody else. And if you play the right defense with them, and if you do what Indiana did, and I think they can do it better than what Indiana did, and get in their quarterback face. He ain't gonna have the timing and rhythm to get all them nice, beautiful passes off to Jeremiah Smith and the other dude they got at wide receiver. Remember, A&M has some dope wide receivers. They got one pass off,
right?
But they got some. Like I said, you didn't hear Concepcion name all night,
right?
He's supposed to be a playmaker. They was trying to compare him to Malachi.
Right.
I said, we played him when he was with NC State.
Right.
He was putting up big numbers that year with NC State, but when he played Miami, he didn't do nothing.
Right.
So I said, I wouldn't worry about no Concepcion. The media, see, they did that. They overhyped him, that defensive end, their defense altogether.
Right.
What this quarterback was going to do, and I'm giving him the edge because he's mobile. And I said, Miami done played 5 quarterbacks that are mobile.
Right.
And out of all 5 of them, combined yardage wasn't even 100 yards against Miami. All 5 of them. That's Lagway from Florida, old boy from South Florida with the Bulls, NC State quarterback, Pitt quarterback, all these quarterbacks that were so-called mobile running type quarterbacks. 5 of them didn't even have 100 yards on Miami.
Right.
So why was I worried about this dude?
And I just think, man, when I'm looking at this Canes D-line, is specifically to what Canes up, nose down talking about, it's that, man, these guys is built, they some dogs. I mean, when you look at
some dogs, Miami got some real dogs.
And they not gonna be scared of Ohio State. They ain't gonna be scared of the name brand of Ohio State. No, they ain't worried about
that.
They ain't worried about none of that. These boys for to come in and compete. And they think, and in their mind, I ain't gonna say they think, they know they can win that game. Now, you know what they do on the field, they already know it's gonna be a battle. They know every game gonna be a battle. You ain't getting to the playoffs and thinking it's gonna be a blowout unless you play Tulane or James Madison, which everybody knew. You know, but for the most part, you know every round, next round probably gonna be a battle too. For all the teams. It said, I heard that Beast Pass Rush from Texas A&M is on milk cartons today. Oh, man. Is he missing that? Oh, man, y'all silly out there.
You know what? So be it, man. So be it. So be it, Dwayne, because they was doing a lot of talking.
Yeah,
They were doing a lot of talking, man. They was doing a lot of for 2 weeks. Miami got announced 2 weeks ago today. It was 2 weeks ago when they made the playoff.
Right.
And from then on, when they found out they was playing A&M, they was doing a lot of talking. Okay, talk.
Right.
Miami took the high road. Congratulations on the playoffs. Ruben Bain took the high road. Knowing in the back of their mind, okay, yeah, y'all been running y'all mouth. We're going to show you.
Right.
And they showed them. And then now after the game, now our guys can talk a little smack because guess what? Y'all was talking a lot of shit. And we was nice about it until the game came on.
Right.
Now we're gonna let the past do the talking, and there it is. So
somebody says, fella, we got away with some calls yesterday. That's football.
What calls? Yeah, I mean that wasn't targeting. If that's what you're trying to say.
No, that wasn't targeting.
That was not targeting in the fourth quarter. He didn't leave with a crown in his helmet.
Yeah.
That wasn't targeting. So I'm trying to figure out what we get away with. They gave him,
put it in the chat. What we get away with?
They gave him 15 yards. They gave him 15 yards for that bogus roughing the pass.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
That was the only penalty in the whole game. It's like the referees was damn near non-existent for a couple calls.
Hey, it relatively was a clean game.
And I said this was a clean game. I said this is the kind of game you want.
Yeah.
Pretty clean, high intensity. No real interference from the Zebras. They did a pretty damn good job. Shit.
Right. Yeah. It was pretty, I would say a pretty clean game. You're gonna have some to get by and get, whatever that they kind of some close ones that they missed, but yeah. Oh, he said a hit out of bounds. That's what he's talking about. Yeah.
You're right. They got away with that one.
Yeah, they got away with that one.
They got away with that one. I agree with that. Okay, so all right. Sometimes the sun shine on Miami ass every now and then.
Right. Well, hell, you take that away. If they would have given that, take away the doggone roughing the passer, then it'd have been even. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because that was a great acting job there.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, that was. It said I heard that Beast of Paris. Okay, yeah, we already read that. It says Phil. Okay, we read that. It says Jew is saying ain't mobile whatsoever. No, he's pretty accurate, but he's not.
He's not. Indiana showed you.
Yeah. The key is this.
Indiana kind of gave you the blueprint. He ain't the kind of quarterback that Ohio State wants to make mobile and roll out of the pocket.
Right.
Create a new pocket for him. They're not going to start experimenting with that type of shit now.
Right.
Because they don't want to be embarrassed on TV. Miami ain't got the type of dudes you do that with.
No, because they're going to talk their shit and walk it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest.
If they going to come anything like they did, like Texas A&M came, then they're going to have a problem.
I don't think I think they're going to put the proxies out to do the talking. I don't think they really going to get out there and say much. You know, they got the national media behind them going to do all the talking, you know, that Miami can't compete. You're going to find a couple of analysts going to start, when they start digging in the numbers, they're going to be like, okay, wait a minute, let's see here. Because you know what I always tell you, defense travels. As long as that defense plays like it's supposed to, it's always going to give you a chance to be in the game. So the question is, can your offense come with you? Because that defense is going to keep them in the game. All you got to do is make a play or two. And like I say, Ohio State defense, I think they average it probably. Somebody had to put in the chat. I don't want to say the wrong numbers, but they average it under 15 points a game. So, and Miami defense is under 20 points a game. So, I mean, so that's going to be. I think Miami only gave up 24 points once this year, maybe to. They gave up. Yeah, I know they gave up 20 to Miami. I mean, to Notre Dame and a couple of times, but that defense rock solid. The point I'm making. So both of them defenses are rock solid.
They solid, dude.
Solid. So yeah, that I don't see. I just see that they're going to be able to compete a lot better than what other people thinking that they are. It says they said that their O-line sucks for Notre Dame. I don't think their O-line suck.
No.
I mean, for Ohio State, not Notre Dame. I apologize.
Their O-line don't suck. Their O-line is not. It's not all that.
Right.
Because you don't look like
right.
But it's not. It's not terrible.
Right. Yeah, it's not terrible. What's up, Jalen? It says the you all day, baby, long but life. I hear you out there. They said, but it was very clean game. Refs let them play. Yeah, and that's all you want when you get in these bowl games. Unless something blatant, they're not going to call it. You know that. I mean, they just not going to just. That's the thing that you want in these playoff games. You don't want referees to dictate what's going on in these games. So you want that. You don't want that at all. Yeah, so. But you got to turn that sound down just a little bit. Say, what has got? Miami needs to go. Need to go to the Big 12. The refs treat us better.
Well, just all I'm gonna say is this for our fan base: woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Yeah.
Right now, we should be feeling pretty damn good.
Yes, sir.
What happened yesterday? Okay, I don't care about what the naysayers say about what they say. This whatever. I don't care what you say. We got the W. We're advancing.
Yeah.
Okay. It showed us as a fan base, those of us who really look at football, and we're not operating just off our feelings. But if you're really a fan and you understand the game and you look at the analytics and you look at the matchups and the people from game to game, you can see where the advantages are going to be and where the disadvantages are going to be.
Right.
And if you would have looked at this game, you saw Miami had advantages on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Now they didn't exploit every advantage available to them because of the fact that they had advantages on their defense. And now you got the wind playing a factor. I got kickers missing field goals. I don't know if the quarterback out here throwing the ball a slant or out and the wind take it or something happens. And then now we're in the pick and now the momentum of the game changes. The psyche changes. Everybody changes. And oh my God, can you imagine the people crying then?
Right.
So I give Dawson all the credit in the world for doing what he did.
Yeah,
This is a huge win. Enjoy this win today because tomorrow, if they haven't already, but as far as the team goes, tomorrow it's time to put this game to bed, and it's time for Ohio State.
If it ain't today, they already put it.
I'm sure for the coaches, it's already today. For the players, they could celebrate last night. I'm pretty sure they'll let them celebrate that today. You know,
Right.
have a good time with you. You earned this win. It was hard fought. Texas A&M is not a bad team.
No.
If anybody tries to come out and say they're a bad team, now
Don't listen to them. That's the media.
Right.
That's the media talking. You ain't winning.
They're not a bad team. They wasn't bad when they was 11-1. They were starting to, as a team, it showed in the South Carolina game, they kind of reached their peak.
Right.
And then they played Texas.
Right.
And then Texas put up 24 in the second half, unanswered points on them, and kind of whooped them.
Right.
It kind of brought them back down to earth a little bit. Like, okay, yeah, we in this playoff, but we dropped you from they got all the way to number 2. Remember,
right.
they got the number 2 in the country. And after they lost, they dropped their ass all the way down to 7.
And I try to tell people, it's no different than when Miami got to number 2 and then dropped. You're not a bad team. That's the thing that pisses me off.
And they dropped Miami all the way to 10. They only dropped Texas A&M to like 6 or 7.
And that what pisses me off. People got a short memory. Miami was ranked number 2 in the country. So they had a good team. Why they want to treat us like scrubs now? You know what I'm saying? You ain't ascended to number 2. You just had a rough patch. Teams go through that in a season. So it ticks you off when you just see, they say Jeremiah Smith and Tate has made these past 2 Ohio State quarterbacks look good. Yeah, they some stud receivers. That's the key to making saying
the way you beat them is to get him.
Yeah.
If you get us saying and they get at his ass and they get to running his ass around and chase the shit out of his ass and get him off his rocker, they lose the game. He can't hook up with Smith. Smith is a great receiver. He's a great Michael Irvin, Calvin Johnson type receiver.
Yeah. And he's
not a Hakeem / Steve Smith type receiver. He ain't that type of dude. He ain't a Santana Moss, Peter Warwick type dude. Smith is that Calvin Johnson, T.O. type dude.
Yeah, with a great
he a Randy Moss type dude with some size and muscle.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the rock if it come to my way. I'm the new Larry Fitzgerald and then some.
Right.
That's Smith. He like I said, he ain't no slasher cutter type. Right. He's just that big alpha I'm gonna get it if it's coming to me. So if you get this quarterback ripping and running around and chasing his ass and sacking him and getting in the back of his head, that he ain't gonna be comfortable back here in the pocket to sit there and look for Smith, because Smith gonna get his.
Right.
Unless our corners are straight lockdown. And like I said, we'll see who step up next week.
Right. He gonna have a game plan, whether you bracket him or whatever. He gonna find out
a game plan for them.
Right.
And that defense gonna get at him. And this game plan work. You play a zone, you make Texas A&M quarterback sit there and throw it. He gonna get some off, sure.
Right.
Miami gave up some plays.
Right.
But when it came to critical times, what happened?
Right. They gave us the plays, but they tackle so much better than last year.
Oh my God.
I'm talking about secondary tackling. They tackle so much better.
They are very imposing.
Yeah.
They're very violent and they're very aggressive and they impose their will. That's what I like about this defense. They're very imposing.
It's crazy when you think about it. Say we play at Cowboy Stadiums. We ready? Yeah. Yeah, they was making a joke. They say somebody told me yesterday, say Jerry go open the roof up so we don't run it up. See, he said go open it, say they don't want us to play in good conditions. He said, I heard that the Ragley ACC asked ACC refs for our next game. Damn, don't say that. Don't say that.
I hope. Nah, that's a rumor too. I heard that same rumor, but I don't think it's true.
I don't think so. It says it said that was the best officiated game I've seen in a long time. I agree. Like I say, I think they actually let the guys play. And it wasn't anything that we could say that was so blatant. Like say, that throwing the guy out of bounds should have been a flag. I'm not going to argue there. But for the most part, I think they let them play. I think they let it be decided on the field. And when you got two teams playing that physical and playing that hard, it's the referee's job to step back and let them play and decide it on the field. You know, both teams played hard. I'm not going to take anything away from Texas A&M because their problem was they ran their damn mouth. But I mean, but they were playing hard. You know, so I'm not going to take that from them. We got to give props to our offensive line. They didn't have one false start. Great point.
That's right.
Great point.
No pre-snap penalties. No
Yeah.
pre-snap penalties in this game.
Right.
That was
Yeah.
huge. No
That was
pre-snap penalties.
really huge. Looking back on that, and we talked about that, about not beating yourself on the road with penalties. They only had 4 penalties for 30 yards or something like that total. And then you figure the one roughing the passer, and then he took the punt one, to give him some room or whatnot. So a total clean game. I give the coaching staff a lot of credit. I know some guy was arguing with me about them not going for it. I say, hey man, points are at a premium in this game. You if you don't go for the 3, you go for the 7 and you lose, and you don't make it. Now you taking basically points off the board. Now we know that the kicker had a rough day, and we know the reason why, because of the weather. But still, I'm not mad at Mario for going for the field goal. The way that the game was going, and your defense was playing so lights out. That's the key. If you don't make the field goal, you're pinning them down there anyway. So I was okay with it. I know some people wasn't, but in hindsight, the way your defense was playing, you can't be mad at it. It says, I wish we could have shared a picture in this chat. I'll show you all the Miami Hurricane Christmas wreaths I got on my front door and put orange and green lights on it too. Oh man. It says some analysts will watch film and they'll say that the D will keep them in it, but they're going to say Carson can get it done. It says we'll watch film and say that the D will keep them in it, but they're going to say that Carson can't get it. I think he probably meant can't get it done, don't you think?
Who cares?
Yeah, that's what I think he meant.
Who cares? All the negative people are going to say what they want to say.
Yeah, that's what I think. Say the wind grabbed one of our field goals and threw it to the B sharp to the right. Yeah, that wind was brutal. He said the ACC wildly disrespected. Yeah, I was telling, this goes back to, matter of fact, that the conversation in the debate you and Kevin was having about the offensive line. And he kept trying to say, well, y'all haven't faced the,
What did I say? What did I say, Nate? What did I say? If our O-line dominate what? What did I say that?
Yeah.
I said that, didn't I?
Yeah.
People don't understand that I try to study the game. I'm not off my feelings. I look at the game and the matchups, and I knew right there they got one good defensive tackle that they've been bragging about versus my O-line. That's an NFL size line.
Yep.
One of the best O-lines in the country. We're gonna put your line against mine,
right,
and see who win. A la Miami won. The only time they won is on 3rd and long. Them times they blitz, and now they blitzing a linebacker and they blitzing a safety,
right,
off of an end. So then it's 3-on-1. If there's no backside help, if the running back ain't there to help or a tight end there to help, then the left tackle's on the island and he got 2 more blitzers and maybe a 3rd in the middle coming. That's their specialty. That's what they specialize in. They said that's what they do, and they good at it.
Right.
But when it came to 1-on-1, you didn't hear old boy name all game.
Sure did.
Because Maui Noga had him locked up.
Man had that boy locked up, man.
And old boy on the other end, that's 6'9" and weigh 360, got him locked up on that end. And so if either side he tried to come on, he didn't do shit.
Hey, remember Kevin told you 6'9" guys ain't no good? Hey, before we move on to the next question.
Boy, I tell you, boy.
What do you think? I know you saw the video surface of Ruben Bain cussing out Echo and the boys. What do you think about that?
They had it coming. They was talking shit.
They ain't let them have it.
You should have been. I mean, the way they was talking, man. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, they was talking crazy. It says the U Beck has to ball or it's over. I'd say the skill makers got a ball because I think Beck gonna be okay. I think he's gonna get them in the right positions they need to be in. You know, like I said, when you get to this point, they all know what they got to do. I told everybody, I said Beck wasn't going to be rattled going into College Park Station. Granted, he didn't have a great game by far, but the game didn't dictate for him to have a great game. The conditions didn't dictate. So the conditions, when they came out of halftime, Shannon Dawson said, "This is how we going to win the game." You know? And that's what they did. I think even when I think if Eric, if I'm not mistaken, I think I heard Beck tell Dawson like, "Hey, we can gash them in the second half," and they really start emphasizing on the run. So, like I said, sometimes man, it's just about just how the conditions is. It says slow folk. What's up, man? Go Canes. It said, "Yes, sir. Good game." All right, there, Jay. It says our defense will carry us to the chip. Once Beck don't turn the ball over, we could go all the way. And I keep saying this, people keep saying that if anybody don't turn the ball over, the margins are so small. I don't care who you are, you can't turn the ball over. Beck saying, I guarantee you Ohio State saying, "Oh man, as long as he can get it to Jeremiah and them boys and don't turn the ball over, we ain't gonna lose." I mean, so that's the narrative that people painting around Beck. You know, go back and look at his whole body of work. Has he made some bad plays? Yes. We call him out
Once
for it.
Once again, they're going back to Louisville. That's all
Right.
they can do.
Right.
I'm so sick of it. Why is it with him that y'all got to go, that everybody got to go back to this Louisville game and the SMU game? The first pick in the SMU game wasn't his fault. JoJo had the ball, bobbled it some more, and their defender got it. That was an interception. So that wasn't on Beck. He should have just caught that ball, would have been the first down.
Right.
The second INT was in the overtime, and JoJo got tackled in the end zone. Okay, bad pass by Beck. His only bad game was Louisville, but they keep going back to that. But like I said, Oregon got their asses beat at home by Indiana, just like Miami got beat at home by Louisville. They don't bring up that game with them. They don't bring up the fact that their quarterback, he had 2 or 3 picks in that game against Indiana.
Right.
He had a bad game. But when every time they talk about Oregon, they will not bring up that game or that he had a bad game or that he's known to throw picks or he's susceptible.
He threw a pick last night right to the dude.
He threw a couple picks to James Madison.
Yeah.
So, okay, so it's enough of this about Beck. Beck did yesterday, did he throw a pick? No.
Right.
He didn't throw it. He was 14 for 20 for a little over 100 yards. So he threw the ball 20 times. And out of 20 times, he had 14 completions, and he didn't throw it to the other team.
Right.
The most important damn thing of all, that he didn't give it to the other team.
Right. Because even on the fumble, Fletcher, was it Fletcher that recovered it?
Fletcher recovered it.
Yeah.
And it saved his ass.
Yeah. He said dominant, ain't it? Yeah, talking about that defense. Said we played championship defense. Yeah, that's one thing that, one thing I would give like Luke that came on yesterday and those guys that really didn't know Miami like we knew them. He came on and straight apologized. He said, "Hey, man, I apologize. I didn't think that defense was as dominant as I seen with my own eyes." And I said, "Luke, we've been trying to tell you, don't get caught up in the ACC sauce." I said they wasn't saying that when Clemson was winning championships. They wasn't saying that when Florida State had that dominant defense a couple of years ago. So why is it that when Miami has this dominant defense, it's in the ACC and it ain't that good because they ain't playing SEC opponents or ACC opponents? I said, man, a dominant defense when you got it. If you got NFL caliber players. Scouts know. Scouts ain't going up saying, "Hey, this team got all these NFL caliber players on their team and they not be dominant." Come on now. Let's just keep it a buck on that.
Well, I mean, like I said, this was a great win. I had to order some wings.
Oh, that's all right.
This was a great win, man. This was a great win. And it's just, I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
It's not the type of game I expected. I expected some defense. I didn't expect it to be like this.
Right.
I'm like, okay, it is what it is. When I'm just very I'm happy with this. This was the most important football game for this program since the Fiesta Bowl in 2003.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is for the season, for the 02 season. Okay, so we're in the 25 season, 22 years later. 22 years later. And now we playing the same team, but a lot of their fans brag that they're the reason why Miami isn't what Miami was. They were the ones who knocked Miami off of that horse because Miami was on their way.
Yeah.
That game I'm not going to dive back into it like that, but, Miami was down to Ohio State 17-7 in that game in the second half. And then all of a sudden, at halftime, they were down. It came out in the second half, and McGahee, he started to find his stride.
Right.
He was starting to make a difference in that game. Now, McGahee was getting off some good runs, and they were starting to hit Winslow across the middle. And Ohio State had no answer. Then all of a sudden, McGahee scored, and it's 14-7. It's like, okay, we got a game now. They can't stop this dude now. Then all of a sudden, old boy blow his knee out.
Right. That's crazy.
I mean, they say that's football. It happens. I mean, I dare say I think somebody did it on purpose.
It said, "Yep, that was a big part. We struggled with the online penalty or O-line penalty all year." Yeah, he going.
Yeah, look, if you look at the totality of the game, that's what we have as a fan base. You have nothing to complain about. You cannot sit up here and bitch about Dawson. They had 0 pre-snap penalties in this game. 0, not a one.
Yep, right.
You got no reason to complain in this game about nothing, fan base. Nothing. No fans should be bitching about Dawson. Because if Dawson would have put Beck out there and Beck would have been on the limb and made some mistakes, we'd have all been cussing Dawson and why the fuck is Beck doing this and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
He protected his quarterback.
Right.
He went out there and did just enough because he knew the defense was on one. The defense had something to prove. They got called out.
Yeah.
They got called out on media, social media. They got called out by A&M, by their best tackle. You didn't hear much of his name, did you?
Mm-mm.
They said he was supposed to be some type of finalist. You didn't hear none of his name. You didn't hear the defensive tackle, the end name that much at all for A&M. I'm not saying A&M defense wasn't good because it was.
They was balling.
They was balling. They was up there hitting. But their defensive line
I'll tell you one thing. Ruben Bain's stock went up when they was trying to leak in the media all week about his length and all that. Man, that man came out there and showed them what he was about.
From talking his arms ain't long enough.
Yeah, and all this stuff.
That's how people can ruin you for a draft, talking that bullshit.
Right. They try to do all that. Said Larry and I started to go towards you, starting to think I want Chip Kelly as our new offensive coordinator.
See, I think that's the ones in our fan base that just need to go sit down some goddamn.
He said, "Sit down, Anthony. We don't want Chip Kelly, man.
We don't want no. Come on, bro. Please, bro. Love you, man. Don't do that, man. We don't want Chip. I like Dawson. You need to go back and watch this game in full view. I did. You can watch it anytime. And watch this chess match being played with him and Elko. Because Elko, this just shows you how Miami dominated them. They was looking for every little chance and crack and kink in Miami's armor to try to exploit it. Right. And when they did get some cracks, like Malachi getting stripped, they couldn't do shit with it because Miami defense did like this.
Right.
It was the end of them. That's what I'm saying. This was a chess match by Dawson. He did an excellent job keeping our quarterback out of the fucking crosshairs of the media. They can't say nothing about him. They still try to take shots at him. Well, he didn't have a great game, or his quarterback rating was only 40-something. I don't give a shit if it was 4.
Right.
He threw 0 interceptions.
Hey, and man, look. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I don't even like Chip Kelly, but Dawson, it's just one of those things. We got who we want. That's who I'll just say.
Dawson till Dawson decide he want to be a head coach somewhere.
Right.
Somebody make him an offer he can't refuse that Miami won't counter, and Miami will say, okay, man, you paid your dues with us. Good, good luck. Because he might go to a G5 school or something to start out as a head coach.
There's rumors that he's been offered some jobs.
Right, he ain't gonna get no big D1 school off the top, but we'll see.
Right.
But like I said, I'm cool with what Dawson did. He called a great game yesterday.
I'm with you on that. I said I'm not worried about Ohio State. I don't care if they are previous national champions. Indiana proved they can't handle physicality on the offensive line of scrimmage. Yeah, I agree.
Exactly. That's why I'm not worried about it. Them boys, listen, they're going to celebrate their win today, and tomorrow they're going to get at it and get to watching film and get to studying on Ohio State, rest their bodies for a day or two. A lot of guys got carried off the field. This was a battle, man.
Man, it was physical. It was physical.
Damn right. Well, fuck Elko. They was talking shit. They was talking shit.
Man.
You can't talk shit when you didn't play the upper echelon of your conference. You didn't play Georgia. You didn't play Alabama. You didn't play Tennessee. You didn't play Ole Miss. Them was the best teams at the top. You didn't play Vanderbilt either.
Right.
You didn't. So the best teams in the SEC, you didn't play. LSU down. Auburn is down.
Yep.
Play Mississippi State. Arkansas is down. You got Missouri. Missouri ain't down, but Missouri is going through a transition. Plus, their starting quarterback was hurt.
Right.
And they still ran for over 200 yards.
Yeah, they 2 quarterbacks down. Missouri.
Right. And they still ran for over 200 yards on A&M.
Right.
Mizzou did. So it's not like A&M played the upper echelon of the SEC. Right. But their SEC, they are considered one of the upper echelon.
Right.
Because they were up there at the top.
Right.
They were up there with Georgia and with one.
But let everybody say in the SEC, oh man, they was paper champions and all that. They always try to. That's what I don't like about some of this stuff.
Miami went to a SEC 100,000 plus stadium, and it didn't even fucking matter. It shut their crowd up.
Right.
Got them quiet and beat their team.
Yeah, they always try to diminish. When Miami beat somebody, when they beat Notre Dame, first game, it's early in the season, this and that. If they play them again, you go to beat somebody at their own stadium, 100 and some thousand people. Oh, man, this and that. They paper champ. It's always something when they come in, these Canes come in and do what they got to do. And not only beat them bad. Shut Jeremiah Love down at 33 yards rushing. Oh, he was hurt. They go in here and beat this quarterback throw picks. Always an excuse. Can't never just give this team props for what they do on the field. But we don't need props. That's what I'm saying. We're going to let you talk. And then, like you say, like anybody that knows the game, hey, you got to see me on this field. You got to see me in competition. So you can do all that talking all you want to. Yep. What it all boils down to, we got to line up and we got to do what we got to do. So it's always about the game you lost rather than the games you win when it comes to Miami. I agree. Bama lost to FSU, also swept under the rug. Yeah, that's what they're talking about. Shoot. They always going to go back to the Louisville game or whatever game that is.
Just when it comes to Miami, that's all.
Right.
That's all. They ain't, like I said, with the other teams, they won't do that. They won't really harp on that. I don't know what their deal is with Beck, but see, I'm sticking with my prediction, and I'm hoping it hits because I can maybe get a little money. But
okay, get that money.
I'm gonna stick with Miami beat Ohio State. They're gonna play Georgia because Ole Miss ain't got no defense.
No.
Ole Miss ain't got no defense.
No.
Georgia gonna put the whooping on them boys.
Yeah. I agree.
They whooped them before. They're gonna put the whoop on them again. And Miami gonna beat Ohio State, and then Beck gonna be able to play his old team, and then we gonna see. I think if Miami get through Ohio State,
say wake your ass up, E.
we gonna handle that. We gonna handle that with Georgia, and I think we're gonna play Oregon, and we're gonna beat Oregon for the national championship.
You think it's gonna follow that line of
yes, sir?
Yes,
sir. We're going to beat Ohio State to get that. And just we've already played them twice since the national championship in 2003.
Right.
We played them at Ohio State when they had Terrell Pryor at quarterback. and Lamar Miller ran a kickoff back, but they still won. That was Randy Shannon last year.
Right.
And then they fired Randy Shannon. Then the next year, Al Golden took over. And Al Golden got a good team. That was Randy Shannon players on that team. He had his first year. I don't knock Al Golden like a lot of our fan base do. I think Al Golden was all right. He had a plan. That first year he was here, he had a roster.
Yeah.
He had Travis Benjamin. He had Lamar Miller. He had Hankerson. He had some players on the defensive side too. He had some players on that team that went to NFL. Olivier Vernon. There was another cat on that defense. They had a really good O-line. Lamar Miller was getting his yards.
Right.
Okay. So the only problem was his buddy changed the defensive scheme and they couldn't stop no damn body. But anyway,
right.
I digress. They beat Ohio State. Al Golden's first year. They beat Ohio State. That's when what's name was he was the freshman quarterback. He was just a freshman though.
For the U?
No, for Ohio State. And what's name was the interim coach. He's the coach at Wisconsin now. He was at Cincinnati. He from no, dude. I always thought one day he would get the job at Ohio State, but oh boy, there now.
Yeah, there now.
Yes, but anyway, so this ain't the first time Miami's played Ohio State since that Fiesta Bowl.
Right.
But I understand with the implications involved with this game, with so much being at stake, everything from that 03 game.
Oh yeah, and it's good marketing too. We got to admit,
it's good marketing. ESPN is gonna run this shit. They're gonna probably show that game. They'll probably show that 02 championship bowl, and it hurts.
But you know what's the beauty of it is that I always see Buckeye fans everywhere, and it's easy to root for people when they're on top. The great thing that I'm seeing now, no matter where you at, you're starting to see this resurgence of Miami fans coming back out. Coming back out. I mean, us in this chat here, we've been fans and we probably wear ours proud, but it's nice to see even the people that's not fans be like, hey man, y'all team, I like the way y'all play. I like the physicality y'all play. When you get a chance to watch the Hurricanes play, you can't help but to like them. Now, some people don't like the swag that they play with. Some people don't. And really, they ain't out here talking shit to nobody.
No, they're not. They're
not out here doing that.
They're not that kind of team. They let their fans do the talking. They let
it do the talking.
They're not the boisterous,
right? Shit
talking type. I mean, them teams back then bagged it up.
Yeah.
Back in the 80s.
But on the field,
they were some real dogs. I'm not saying that our guys ain't dogs. I'm just saying they was dogs. Them the kind of niggas that was breaking into cars after radios and shit to get some money. That was
not taking sport back.
Practice now, but we're gonna be hitting up the car lot. We're gonna hit up this lot to see these radios.
All right, we out there joking with y'all. Say Ruben Banks, that's short arm, son. Look like a top 3 pick against A&M.
I don't know who said that about him, man.
Yeah, I think that was just some shit leak.
I'm like, come on, man.
Oh man, it's who was he talking about? He said QB did his job. Keep it moving. Yeah, we agree. He said Julius saying can't scramble. He will be a sitting duck against our D line. Yeah, he gonna have to get the ball out early.
He gonna have to get the ball out early. We gonna see what these people all about, man.
Right. He gonna have to. Yeah, he gonna have to get that out early. We'll take him a couple more before we get up out of here. It says Denzel Perry played under Al Golden too. Yeah.
Yep. Denzel was a bad dude at the middle linebacker.
Yep.
And he wasn't tall. He was like 5'10", 5'11", but he played the position. We've had some great linebackers. Sean Spence was a bad dude, especially when they played Paul Johnson in Georgia Tech with that triple option. He had to change up his role at middle linebacker because somebody got to be with the pitch man and somebody got to be on that nose dive.
Right.
People got to be on point when you play. And every time when Randy Shannon played Georgia Tech, they would win that game because he tweaked the defense to play against an option style offense.
Right.
You got to stay home. You got to stay with the pitch man, and you got to stay with the dude with the ball. You can't deviate because that's how they get off, and that's how they beat the Yellow Jackets them few years when Randy was here, because he switched Sean Spence to a middle linebacker type role where he would stay with that nose dive, and it worked, and they was able to beat Georgia Tech. He made so. I mean, like I said, Golden got some really good dudes when he came to Miami. He got some studs. It was some cats out there.
And so you're talking about Fickle is if
Luke Fickle, that's him.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
He was the coach of Ohio State when they came to Miami in 2011. He was the interim coach. And I forgot, oh boy, was the quarterback. He was a freshman. He ended up being really good later on. You know, by the time he was a senior in 2015, by then Saban was there.
Right.
So anyway,
that's an interesting question. Do you think Fitzgerald better than Cam Kitchens?
Too early to say.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Cam
was a bad boy.
Cam gave you 3 years, and now look what he's doing with the Rams.
Yeah.
So it's too early to say. Fitzgerald is a freshman.
Yeah.
You know, he's just a freshman. He's going to have to get some more seasoning.
Yeah.
Now, if he's showing he can do all this now, him and Malachi, imagine in 2 years from now, with the 27 season, what kind of squad they're going to have. Because by then, if Luke Nickel is your quarterback by that time, he's probably 27. It might be his second year at quarterback. If he wins the starting job next year, if they don't bring somebody in,
right,
27 would be his year.
Man, just think next year you got my boy Cantwell coming in from down in Missouri. You got Coleman coming in.
The line is going to be just as good as it is this year.
They got some, they just reloading. So it's just reloading.
They reloading. That's what they're doing. They are reloading.
It says, all right, we take this last one, then we're getting up out of here. It says Fitzgerald is a straight up stud kid. Is going to be a beast. We all agree that we're going to sit back and we're going to watch the football. We're going to come back sometime, probably, what's this calendar?
Maybe next weekend or something. I mean, you pick a time on us, maybe a Saturday morning.
Saturday morning. Come back and we're going to break this down. We're going to
if we want to do another one New Year's Eve before the game.
Right. Before the game, we'll do that one. And then that way we're going to have all the stats and we're going to have all the line play and how the matchups match up, how we think this game going to go. And ironically, I think a lot of people are going to be surprised how well Miami matches up with Ohio State.
I think they match up with them very well. I've always said this year, I said it, the only team that matches up with Ohio State and that can beat them would be Miami.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see anybody else that could beat them one-on-one. Even if Indiana were to play them again, Day and his staff are good enough to make the adjustments. I don't think Indiana has the weapons. They don't. I'm not taking nothing away from Indiana. They got a nice team.
Right.
But we're going to find out when they play Alabama now.
Yeah.
Because if Alabama's got
I'm liking Bama in that game. I don't know why.
That's going to be a good game.
That's going to be a good game.
That's going to be a damn good football game, and we're going to see what Indiana's all about, because now you're playing, you know who you're playing. We ain't got to fucking say.
Right.
If you get now, I'm not saying Indiana won't get past them, because I think they will.
Right.
But I think Indiana's going to get beat up in the process, tackling with these boys. They may get off and win the game on Bama, but I think they're going to soften Indiana up to where now you got to face an Oregon team that wants some get back from what you did to them at their home field.
I think the key in that game is how healthy Bama going to be. They should be 100% healthy, and can they get they struggled running the ball so much. That's going to be they got to figure out a way to run the ball if they want to beat Indiana. They got to figure out some way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're going to see. Now we're going to see, bro. We're going to see about all these teams. Who's the complete team?
Yeah.
Who's for real? Who's what you say, what they've been saying about every team, Indiana this way and Ohio State this way and Oregon is this and Ole Miss is this. All right, now we're going to see.
Yeah.
Now we down to the Elite Eight.
Ole Miss, all offense, not as physical as Georgia, Bama, Miami,
I think
Ohio
when it
State,
all comes
Indy.
down to it, it's gonna be Miami over Miami, Georgia. It's gonna be, I think, that Texas Tech, who they got,
They play.
they play Oregon.
Yeah, they play Oregon. Texas Tech might get Oregon. Shoot.
I don't think they are.
They might.
I don't think they are because they ain't played nobody.
Yeah.
I don't think they. I think they're very evenly matched. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
Because Oregon ain't played nobody for real
Yeah.
either.
Yeah,
Before I
Oregon.
jump the gun, Oregon ain't played nobody for real.
Texas Tech got some. They got some studs out there. I don't want to.
Texas Tech is nice. They paid a lot of money for their NIL.
Right.
They paid a lot of money for their NIL. They did.
Yeah.
So we gonna see. I still think Indiana gonna get them, but I think that's gonna be a game that's very evenly matched, and I think that game might be high scoring.
Yeah, I think so.
That game might be high scoring.
Because Oregon defense is really not. It ain't as good as it was last year. And last year they got smoked in the playoffs. So
they don't have that defense, man. Indiana going against a Texas Tech would be either a defensive battle or a shootout. But Oregon, if whoever Oregon end up getting, if they win, they gonna get the win. Oregon gets who they got next.
With brackets out of bracket L here. Football.
Oregon gets Ole Miss, or no?
Here we go.
No.
Okay, so here we go. We got Oregon and Texas Tech.
Oregon gets Texas Tech.
Alabama and Indiana, Ole Miss, Georgia, and Miami and Ohio State.
Okay, so the upper two is Texas Tech.
Yep, and Alabama and Indiana.
So if Indiana wins, they get the winner of Oregon, Texas Tech.
Right.
I think it'll be Oregon and Indiana in the Final Four, and Georgia and Miami in the other end. And then there's your Final Four. I think that's the Final Four.
That'd be.
I don't think Ole Miss can hang with Georgia, but Georgia has holes, man.
Yeah, Georgia
has holes. I think that's what they're saving Carson Beck against his old team.
Yeah.
Because who carved up Georgia? I mean, with the air game.
I think Ohio State is way more explosive than Georgia.
Who carved them up? Miami beats Ohio State. The only way Ohio State gets there if they beat Miami.
Right. No, I'm just saying. I'm
win.
just talking about right now. I just think Ohio State is more explosive than Georgia. So I'm thinking.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
What team was Georgia susceptible to? They gave up a lot of this. I mean, they got their butts handed to them. They won the game.
Right.
Tennessee threw the ball all over Georgia. If you go back to that game, it was at Tennessee.
Right.
They missed a field goal late, and they ended up losing to Georgia. But they ran the ball. They threw the ball all over Georgia. Georgia had no answer for Tennessee's deep ball.
Right.
They were lighting Georgia's ass up. The problem was Tennessee couldn't stop Georgia's run.
Right. It's a Tennessee offense ran through Georgia defense.
They threw the ball if you go back to that game and watch the game, it was back in October.
Right.
Okay, so it was like the third or fourth game of the year, maybe the fifth game, but they threw the ball all over Georgia. Georgia's secondary has got holes in it, just like Ohio State's offensive line has holes in it. So Heatherman, I'm pretty sure, is working to see what are the holes I can find in their O-line. And if they get to Georgia, Dawson's going to look for those holes in their secondary that Tennessee found.
Right.
And if my line can protect, and I don't think Georgia's D-line is better than Ohio State's D-line.
Right. Right.
Well, I don't have a problem with my O-line. Miami's offensive line can block anybody.
Yeah.
They can block any team in the country. So what am I worried about? I ain't worried about nothing.
Right. He says you got to remember Ole Miss had Georgia in their meeting earlier, and the refs ripped off Ole Miss. So
I remember they lost the game. I know Ole Miss jumped out, and Tennessee and Georgia came back to win.
Yeah, and they ran out of gas. But look, I'm gonna be honest.
I don't care about none of them damn teams. Miami is the team. To me, they the most complete football team.
Ole Miss I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna have enough smoke for Georgia, man. I just don't know. They receivers look
I
they
don't
big
think
and
they
physical,
will.
but
I don't
I
think
don't
they.
think.
I don't think they got no smoke for Georgia.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't think Ole Miss got my wings ready. I
All right,
don't think they're ready. I don't think they're ready, bro.
right. All right, we're gonna wrap it up with this last question. I swear, I asked for everything that's coming. Beat Ohio State fans, Georgia, Beck, Oregon,
GOK, I
Mario.
put money on that, bro. I
Let's
went to DraftKings.
go.
I went to DraftKings and put money on Miami to win the whole thing.
All right, guys, we finna wrap it up. We finna get up out of here, watch us some Sunday football or enjoy, man. I
Yep.
got some Christmas
And
shopping to
some big
do.
games. Look at the Bears. Look at the Chicago Bears. Oh my God. Look at the Bears and the Rams blew it the other night. Oh, how they blew
Hey,
it.
look, I talked about fingernail polish boy. He out there balling,
Out
man.
there balling, got the Bears looking like, yo, what about us?
Yeah. All right, we up out of here,
All right,
y'all.
man. I would you like you on vacation the rest of the year? I am.